Hi, my name's Pharaoh, and today I'm just going to do a bit of an impromptu stream. So I don't know if anybody will be around, but I'm playing the game anyway, and I'm experimenting with new stuff. So I thought I might as well stream at the same time. So we'll see if anybody joins me. But in the meantime, I'm going to go through my various saves and update each of my settlements as I go along. And just chop that off a second. That's better. Okay, so where was I? I've been keeping a track of my different saves, and I've been going to each of them in turn. And according to my list, I should be able to go into my Amiga Plus save. Hi, Alphys. Good to see you. As I was just saying, I'm just going to be playing anyway, so I thought I might as well stream playing and interact with this new settlement system, which I'm finding interesting. And I'm just going to go through my various saves and update them as they go. Glad that you're liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm thinking it's a nice addition. I think it's still limited, and I think there's still a lot they could do. But for now, I'm quite happy with it. So what I've learned is it's best to go straight to the terminal before you go and look at the buildings you've got going, because there's usually something going on. New arrivals, good neighbour. A stranger named Engineer Ikon Queeb has arrived with a retinue of followers. They have brought a pulsating fruit and offer it as a gift. They imply they might one day return the favour. So they've turned up with a retinue of followers, but they don't look as if they're going to stay. But hexaberry, yes, I'm well aware of hexaberries. I approve of those. I'll take those. Thank you. I agree that they feel a bit more alive, and it feels like some of the options we get are a little bit more interactive now. I should have this one finished. I'm kind of trying to take note of what happens when we upgrade various things. So I'm just going to take a couple of notes. So this is a starport. And at B, it's on 2 max employees, although it says 3. I think I'm overpopulated. Productivity plus 21,175. Contribution happiness plus 1, and upkeep 20,097. So let's see what happens when we reopen it. Different buildings seem to upgrade and do different things, so it's interesting. So this one's still... No, it's 1 more max employee. Yeah. This is at A. Max productivity, it's gone up 35,539, so that's gone up about 14,000-ish, and a little bit more. Happiness plus 1, still the same. Upkeep cost has stayed the same. I've noticed upkeep costs don't seem to change. I know, Grabnort, but I'm playing anyway. I might as well carry on and stream it while I'm doing it, especially as we're kind of learning what's going on. And plus I'm using the experimental branch, so it's interesting to see what's been fixed, because I was having quite a few problems before. I think there's a small bug through, though, when interacting with building control panels. Random stats seem to be showing up. I think they have, if you look through the maybe we'll look at them in a minute, but if you look through the patch notes, they have made a few changes that are in the experimental branch on Steam, at least. So I'm gonna go directly to upgrading this. No, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. What I've noticed is the S-class ones seem to attract sentinel attention more. So I think we're better off upgrading things to A first. So this is another one, and presumably it will be the same, because it was... I know the productivity was a little bit higher on this one already. 24,074. Still 2 max. Still plus 1 happiness. Upkeep was slightly higher as well. I wonder if that's because it was a second one. And then... so we need Lemmy. I can probably craft Lemmy. So that's going to take... a quick way of telling how long it's going to take is to make sure you've got it selected. I mean, you can just look in the terminal, but if you're not at the terminal, if you make sure you've got it selected in the particular one you're at, in the bottom right hand corner, it will tell you the current building project. So that's going to be an hour. So that's going to be until... which save are we in again? We're in the Omega Plus save. We're at Fool's Paradise. That's going to be... New class indicators make for a pretty photo. Yeah, I'm not sure if I approve of them always being there. It's a bit odd. I like them. I just wish we could turn them on and off. Maybe a little switch at the overseer's office. And I've also noticed that in my autophage ones, they just don't seem to be popping up at all. Although until the update, autophage ones just didn't seem to be working for me. I didn't even... after I'd dismissed one and started another one, I didn't have the option to start an overseer's office at all. And even in the experimental branch, one of my saves still wasn't letting me do anything with the autophage, and I just quit from that one. Hit save here. I don't think I'm quite ready to go to the other part of this save. Oh no, I am. Okay, so let's go to the autophage. Hi, Gary420. Okay, so my settlements. The other one is an autophage. Let's see how that's getting on. Friday's the new Monday, absolutely. I mean, it's new content. I'm playing the game anyway. I'm experimenting. I was playing it earlier today, so I've kind of been progressing it. And I figured I might as well go live and discover things together. Make a policy decision. How are we doing with this terminal? I don't think we're doing very well yet. No, our productivity is still much lower than maintenance, so... so we can upset a few people, I think. We should have another building that's finished. This is a warehouse. Oh no, hydroponics bay. I'm thinking of a different settlement. Let's make a note of what this one changes. So let's go off of just chatting as well, just because that's in my ear telling me. Hydroponics. That's on 4 max. 37. That's actually quite productive. 8.2. That's 1 happiness. And 30. It's not very productive after the upkeep. 710. And then if we open building. It is 5 max, so 1 more person employed. I presume that might have something to do with happiness. It's almost doubled productivity. 66,721. Upkeep still the same. And happiness still the same. So that was worth doing. I won't go to Edge yet. What else have we got at this? If you notice, I do have some letters here now. I don't have letters on everything. I'm not sure if it's just because I haven't upgraded. Like this habitation, is this on a C perhaps? Is that why it's not got anything above it? Yeah, it's C. So I wonder if C's don't show. Where we are. Feel free, anybody, to comment on my poll. Interested to see what people think. Let's have a look, see if anybody has. So 4 people, and they've all said great, much improved. That's interesting, because I'm not sure if I'm quite there. People are reporting tons of bugs, true or false. I've been reporting bugs. There have been bugs. while we're talking about bugs, we mentioned that a minute ago, let's see if we can pull up the current bug fixes that are in the list, because I'm playing an experimental. And these are some of the things that have been fixed in experimental, but it's not fully up to date even then, because there's been another branch update since. But let's pull that up on the screen. So this is what we've currently got fixed. Fix an issue that caused a camera to be incorrectly positioned when first interacting with non-autophase settlements. Don't know if I noticed that one. Fix the number of issues that could cause sentinel raids on settlements to escalate the player's wanted level. I think the wanted level thing has always been a bit of a problem with settlements. I don't know. It's probably going to take a little bit of balancing. Fixed a rare issue where settlement building terminals would read out information about the wrong building. I definitely think I noticed that when I first started. Fixed an issue that caused some water-phase settlement parts to be replaced with stone versions. I saw that for somebody else on Reddit. Fix the number of issues with the UI progress dial when retiring as the overseer of a settlement. I've only retired on a couple of not working ones, so I don't think that had anything to do with the UI progress dial. I haven't seen that. Fix the number of issues with settlement UI pages when viewed in non-standard resolutions. Okay, well, I don't know what... I play in 1440p, and often the things that they say non-standard resolutions, they seem to affect me quite a bit, but I haven't seen anything obvious. But I wouldn't have said 1440 was non-standard. So fix an issue that caused faulty goods decisions to be chosen too often when solving settlement dilemmas. Faulty goods decision. Okay, I mean, maybe it's just where we're getting too many of them. They did those kinds of almost meaningless dilemmas did come up quite a lot before. Fix a number of issues with the display of stats on the settlement history page. Yeah, that was completely wrong. I'll quickly show you that. If I just get rid of the browser a second. If we now look at that settlement history, it's actually saying strange things like 56 years total tenure as overseer. So they haven't fixed that, but it is at least giving me a number that makes more sense. It was saying like 5,000 years or other crazy numbers. So I'm not convinced these settlement stats are actually being displayed properly. Getting bugged out for me when first visiting. Let's put it on the screen a second. Getting bugged out for me when first visiting the autophase settlement. Can't get the overseer's office built. That's what I was getting with the autophase as well. Not all the time, but at least on 2 saves. On one of the saves, it fixed itself with this patch, so an upcoming patch may sort it. But then it didn't fix it on another save, so we'll see. I might experiment with that other save, because I've quit out from that. I've retired from that one. And then we'll see if it lets me go to the next one, because I had problems where if I was retiring, it wouldn't let me properly open a new settlement. So I'll play with that in a bit. I got a bug today, fell through the floor on a trading post while save reloading. I had a similar bug where I fell through the ground at a settlement walking out of the door. So I don't know if that's similar or not. Let's go back to that browser thing. I need to actually show it on my screen so I can see it. Okay, there we are. So where were we? Understand. Faulty good. Number of issues with the display of stats on the settlement. That's what we were just looking at. Fix an issue that caused settlements claimed prior to 5.7 to have all empty stats on the settlement history page. I think I was seeing that. Fix the number of minor visual issues with autophase settlement parts. I feel like there are still a couple of those, but we'll see. They don't seem as bad. Fix an issue that caused autophase settlers to be visible before being properly revealed. Okay, well, I wouldn't have noticed because I was having problems with autophase settlements anyway. Fix an issue that cause settlement building upgrades to fail to take their materials from. Yes. Anybody that was watching me the other day, I was doing upgrades and it wasn't taking the materials. It is now. Fix an issue that could cause missions to display incorrect information when there were several settlements in the same system. I'm finding that missions are just giving me gobbledygook every time, although they do work. They're not showing the right system at all. They're not showing the right settlement, rather. Fix a rare issue that could cause players to appear to own settlements they do not. Still getting that. If I go in here and go to Settlements Register, which you can do in the quick menu, sometimes it will show me settlements I don't own, including a Likulu one. So I'm still seeing that occasionally. Oh, I didn't show you on the screen, but let me just show you how that works. Just in case you haven't experimented with this. So in the quick menu, you can select Settlements Register, and it will show you the different settlements that you currently have. And it will just show the 4, because obviously you can only have 4. And then you can go in and look at each one to see what the current status is. For some reason, when you back out, it doesn't go back to that page. You have to go back in again, which is frustrating. They need to fix that. But I was finding that these were showing the wrong settlements even after this update, even after this experimental update. I almost lost my permasave due to that. I was stuck. Luckily, I parked my ship on the ground. That is lucky if you can get into something, yeah. I had a lot of settlements bug out with no... Yeah, that's exactly what was happening to me. I was able to fix the situation by retiring, reclaiming over and over until it finally showed the option to build the office. You were more patient than I was. I just kept coming back. I didn't try and retire and reclaim. So I didn't realize you could fix it that way. I think what's happening is it's putting false ones into our save file, and it's seeing 3 when it's only got 1, say, and then you open a new one and it thinks that one's already in the state of development, so it doesn't give you the options because it thinks, oh, okay, you've already got that one, and it doesn't give you the options to continue. Nobody wants you as an overseer. Right, where were we? Put the browser back on. Put it back on my screen. They do not yet. Fix the number of particle rendering issues on PC, PlayStation 5. I don't know why they list them. They could just say on multiple platforms there. Fix the number of minor text issues. Fix DualSense controller vibration on PS5. Number of optimizations to mission markers. Optimize settlement meshes. I think there might still be a problem there. Introduce an optimization related to base building. Okay, I don't know what that would be. Optimizations for NPCs, number of rendering optimizations. I think I need to double check to see if we can now do the building properly, because we couldn't do the textures before. Still seeing texture issues in settlements. Introduce a number of memory optimization issues on Xbox and on PlayStation and Xbox One. Fix the crash related to settlement upgrading. Fix an animation crash. So that's what we're currently dealing with. There was an extra update to this, but they may not have fixed different things. It's difficult to know when they suddenly slide one in without updating the notes. Sometimes I think the people that do the notes, who are a separate company as far as I'm aware, are not always available to put the notes up. I'm going to look to now or in a minute to see if the stone textures, but I'm seeing, for instance, oh no, we're not in a stone one. When we're at a stone settlement, I'll show you that I think there's still a problem. So, what have I done so far? I haven't... I don't think I've got anything updated, graded at the moment. So, collective dwelling. So many of these are dwellings. Omni-process. Let's go and have a look at that one. Well, that's already S. We upgraded that too far. Sleeping pod. I might do a small sleeping pod if none of the others are. I haven't seen many building requests. I'm wondering if they auto-build things now, because they seem to have more buildings now. It's almost like you need to keep track of everything to see what's really happening now. So this is quite well developed considering I only started it the other day. That's a name. You want to go to S on these things yet, as they seem to have increased sentinel activity when you go to S. That's better. 9 ion batteries. Let's just make a note of the storeroom stats. Activity 15, 8. -2 happiness. It must be an awful place to work. Upkeep is more expensive than it's actually making money. Give it some ion batteries. And take a note of log. An hour. So we're now at 1:30ish here. So that's going to be Let's go into my save with the building nearby and see what the state of play with the textures are, because I haven't checked that myself yet. So, in response to this question, we'll find out. First of all, this is a stone-built settlement, and I think the textures don't look great. I think they look okay from a distance. I think it's an level of detail (LOD) issue, but there could be that they're weathered and they've just smoothed them out more. The weathered one. So what I'll do is I'll go to a place where I'm building first before we do anything else on this site. We'll have a look. Have they got an R&D base on this one? Should have. Yes, that will do. At least it will always be daytime there and we can check them properly. Start with the stone because that one has been a bit of an issue. See, I think that's blurry. It doesn't look right at all to me. It's the same one next to it, but from they're terrible. Let's have a look, see if we can do the different textures. So we have polished and we have aged. What I need to do is do two the same. That's one of them. Done now because I'm getting confused. But I want them against the light like that, so which texture is this? So this is polished. And this is... Come on. It's better there. Aged. I don't see any difference there either. Let's go and look a bit closer. There's a difference there. It's very subtle. They just don't look right, do they? The textures themselves just look blurry. Let's try wood. See, that's coming up weathered already. And that's supposed to be polished timber. Yeah, so that's still a bug. And to look at the newer ones. Nah. Actually, do a specific border over them. Salvage wall. Choosing polished. Choosing rusted. No, I don't think they're different. I mean, at least I don't think their textures are blurry. I think their textures are okay on that, but there's no difference between the rusted and the unrusted, polished or whatever they call it. Half dirt house. Let's see. I've never had as much of a problem with stairs as some people do, but it's probably because I've always, you know, that seems fine. Let's do some variations of another one there and there. Maybe put one on the other side. Seems okay. Seems okay. Seems okay. Yeah, I'm not having a problem with that. Yeah, these ones. Yeah, they might. They've always been a little bit lower anyway. They kind of sit in there. I think that's a bit of a weird choice. They're going to texture, they're going to Z fight. The textures are going to Z fight there. Especially if we now have different textures for stone. But yeah, they seem to be working. I am on experimental, yeah. So what I'm seeing here may be improved, but I wouldn't have thought they would have improved much yet, because they don't seem to have put anything in the patch notes about building parts. Well, not much anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. There seems to be some... I think the building has improved in terms of snap points, and I think mostly the stairs have improved. There might be certain circumstances where the stairs haven't. I think the stone parts will get better. I think they've just got an LED issue. I think they will get fixed. And this thing about only having the right text, only having the one texture, is a bit of a mess at the moment. I think we just need to wait it out. it's not going to be their highest priority. Their highest priority is going to be fixing settlement issues. I'm sure somebody else is probably working on the textures as we speak, but it's probably not the main team. So what we got something going on here. Get the habitation unit there. Why they're a fault with power door. I don't know. I've not really played much with the power door. Even on the different levels, or on the when we press the expand. I'm not in the building area now, so I can't easily check. But I imagine some parts like that aren't that different. I guess. Right, so this one needs unveiling. This is a habitation pod. Notes on this one. No. This is going from B to A. It's got Remax. It's currently plus 1485 productivity, plus 1 happiness. I presume going up will increase happiness for a habitation pod. And upkeep cost 14,842. Reopen building. And A has gone up 1 max. 4. Productivity has stayed the same. Happiness has gone up to plus 2 from plus 1. And upkeep cost has stayed the same. So the only thing that's really happened there is we can put more people in it when we've got a higher population, which we haven't got at the moment. And happiness has gone up. So habitation is a good way of increasing happiness. It doesn't seem to do much else. At least from B to A. What's this? Which one was nutrition? What are we on? B. Might as well go for that one next. Organic catalyst. I think I have that. Yes, I do. And that's going to be 1 hour and 33 minutes. Where are we? We're in Greater Lemul. So it's going to be 240, 310-ish. Okay. I mean, not all upgrades are long ones. For instance, when we upgrade settlements, that's just a matter of a minute or two. It was easy to upgrade this to S. The only advantage to going from A to S, though, or disadvantage, in fact, was that it attracts more attention from Sentinels. So it seems like the sweet spot for these is A, at least to start with. Good neighbor, accept technology, decline gift. Stranger name. These look very similar to the old ones. I don't think they've changed much. Stranger name Planetary Specialist Arms has announced their grand run wishes to become their inventor and convinced their latest creation will be a runaway success. Reaches a wider. They offer a free trial of their high volume jukebox. I imagine that's a positive. We do have more positives now. Well, we have no stats now. So, yeah, It's a positive. It probably replaced a negative there. So there's no way I've been here for 56 years and 2 months. Productivity is still nothing. And on this save, I have... Yep, that one's got some stuff. Actually, you can see in that icon tells us that there's something building, I think. It's interesting. I've actually come across, even in non-autoface settlements, I've come across purple system resources required to upgrade things. So that's going to be interesting. People realise that they're actually gated from advancing certain buildings from actually having to do the purple stuff, having to progress the story. Citizen request. Wishes to lead a group of citizens on a mission. Now, I've been authorized. We didn't used to ever authorize missions, but I'm just trying to test to see if they've stopped people dying quite so often. So I've been authorizing these just to see what happens. And what seems to happen now is they're in a log as a separate. It shows you the expedition separately, although very often I'm getting placeholder text instead of the name of the settlement there. So at least that one's working. So I think they've reworked the expedition, so I'm just running them to see what happens. Now I've upgraded this to S. So that's gone from... Tower. That's on 57,113. Plus 1 and 39,642. I don't think they're going to change much on an S, but we're going to have those abilities to do things at the top. I mean, I don't have a problem with the game forcing us to progress the story, but yeah, some people might. It's interesting. Yeah, I have seen that movie. Right, so this is now still the same employees. It's gone up. Not quite 20,000. That's the same, and that's the same. So the productivity went up a little bit. But now, it says running up when he could easily use his backpack. Because it's still quite fun to use these things. We've never had a spiral staircase quite so smooth before. So now we can scan for space anomalies, and I wonder what actually happens. So it's a little bit like hitting an anomaly detector. Where's my ship? Acting like an anomaly detector. So we could theoretically, I don't know if I probably have already claimed the living frigate. Actually, I can't claim living frigates here because I've got a full fleet on this one. So this is the way we find. Do we chat to this one? Do we just shoot it? I don't remember this one. I remember the look of it, but I don't remember what we do with it. Just shoot it. Grim Bio Anomaly. Which means You know, wonders it would give one of these, probably that one, terrifying sample. Two of them, I don't know what the differences are. That's my settlement down there. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of negativity about this update in terms of, oh, there's so much time gating. I just feel like it wouldn't feel like it was time gating that much in a save that was developing naturally. I feel like we're seeing it from the perspective of someone who already has a developed save, and so they're kind of expecting to be able to develop their save quicker. And I mean, I guess because we took a knock, it's like some of our settlements went down a bit in this update in order to rebalance everything. That might be a bit upsetting, but it doesn't seem to be taking that long to upgrade things. I mean, look here, we've got... It's not like I played it much yesterday. And we've got plenty of A's. I think this is an S, yeah. A few B's still, but they started as B's, so it's not like it was a brand new settlement with a few C's. So, I mean, I just feel like some people just want everything all at once straight away, and I think that's a bit of a strange thing to want. I think there's just a knee-jerk reaction as soon as people see a timer. That, oh, it's time gating, I don't like time gates. I don't really have that. Anything going on here? Nope. Oh, I need to set something going on this one. I mean, the other thing is I have multiple saves, so I can go from one to the other, and it doesn't feel like I'm being time gated that much. So let's change this to A. This one will take a while. One mind control device. That's quite a difficult one to have. You'd have to actually make sure you had that from your frigates. I upgraded all my buildings to S-class. It's still an A-class settlement. Yeah, I think it's difficult to know exactly what's going to count for an S until we've played with it for a bit. But I don't think it's just upgrading all the buildings. I think it's to do with the stats as well. So it's 2 hours. I knew it would take a while. These take ages. Be nice that if we could get it to S though, like we've never been able to before, or well, since they fixed it. Structure, specialist market, 2 hours, 150. And I have one more settlement on this side. Settlement. What I noticed is if you are building your first port, you have loads of ships flying around you all the time. I think that's always going to depend on your position. I mean, I certainly get plenty of traffic here in terms of ships, if that's what you mean by traffic. I don't think I can add any more buildings to the settlement. I have 24. That does sound like pretty much maximum. I think it's also going to have, it's always going to have something to do with the number of inhabitants. Do you have a maximum number of inhabitants, and are they all happy? I know my settlement was very happy, very productive, and then it took a hit. In fact, it was this settlement. Let's see what it is now. I would say that's not particularly productive now. That was right round to the top. The maintenance costs were near nothing, but occasionally popped up. Happiness was 100% before. So it's going to take a while to get back to see if when these stats are maximized, whether it goes to S or not. It's difficult to say until we try it. Settlements. That's the only one we haven't got anything going on yet. Might be a debrief. No. Got a note. No, it's new citizen request. Festival. I've got no problem with a festival. It will take a bit of a hit, but it'll keep people happy. Productivity's awful here. Buyer's shed. One happiness 36,939. So happiness increased, but it doesn't show it on there. That's interesting. So it must give happiness when we upgrade as well. That's the same. 42,175. That's almost double. Fine. Any idea what the produce is? I think it looks similar. We'll have a look in a minute. Originally class week 3. Might upgrade this one again. Let's have a look. Let's just get my timings written down. This is 1 hour 33. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see before when we got to maximum happiness, like 100% happiness, we still stuck at A, weren't we? So it'd be interesting to see if you can increase the happiness, which does take a while. whether or not the it will go to S or not. I'll be keeping an eye out on Reddit for people posting their S-class settlement information. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point if it's possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at here and look to see. Oh, I can't check the products because I'm not in profit here. Don't know if I've got an autophase one in profit yet to check. So I don't know what the products are. I wouldn't imagine they'd be very different though. But they might be. All of the ones on this save are after 3 o'clock. So have I got a save point out here? Let's have. That settlement? Not settlement. Expedition. Select. What have we got still going on? After Titan. I feel like having lots of different saves and going from one to the other is, I'm kind of learning what kind of thing happens for each type of building. Have I done the Overseer's office here? No, I haven't. These I find a bit pointless. Now, my general opinion is that the people that retaliate or do something, I just find them, no matter what's going on, just feels like these are the guys that have messed things up by retaliating or getting upset more than they should. Fine, that one. I don't think it makes a lot of difference to the way the settlement is run. Right, so there must be over there. Okay, so storage facility. I'm pretty sure I've got this written down somewhere. Yeah. So this started off at productivity 24,076. It was called a warehouse. Now gone up to 62. That's much better. Even much better than it was a minute ago. 62,800. Upkeep is the same as it's always been right from the beginning, so that doesn't seem to change at all. Employees has gone up to 4 now. From 3 though, so that hasn't changed much. Happiness hasn't changed from previously, but I imagine it has increased temporarily. I didn't check that, I didn't see it on the screen. Right, so what do we update now? Let's do this one if we can. Let's see what we have to do. Free organic catalyst. It's a bit awkward on this save. Need some thermic condensate. Okay, it wasn't too bad. Time is 1 hour 33:11. Bypass 2. Right, on this save, I'm going to see if I can get an autophage camp now. Don't know. Actually, no, I haven't. No, I can't. Can't do that because I haven't progressed the story on this save. It doesn't yet have... It hasn't even started. So no, I can't do that. I suppose I could try starting a new one, but this doesn't seem to have progressed much yet, so it's probably not worth it. So the only thing I haven't looked at recently is my OP perma save. Now this planet feels like it's less Sentinel than it used to be. It used to instantly get attacked whenever I came here. Planetary Drudge Naprep claims to have seen the settlement in a dream. They have inhaled the nanite foam and share this warning. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? They ask only for a bauble in return for their troubles. Unknown outcomes tend to be negatives, I've found. But I'm just going to find out. Cursed by the mists. So I now have a negative. It's massively outweighed by my positive, so I don't think I'll worry too much. So... Luxury Bazaar. Maybe notes on this one. It's 421,266. That's 3. 45,766. Even at B, this is losing money. Notice that if you've got more than one trading place, it doesn't bother to populate these anymore. You used to be able to have 2 guys there. And obviously this didn't used to have anybody at all. So it's now on 63. That's significantly better. That's gone up by over 20,000. Employees gone up by 1, and everything else is the same. We've got some housing block, hydroponics bay. That's the B. I think they. I'll have a look at. I've got 2 trading posts here, so it might be in the other one. I think it might be. Planet Catalyst again.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
So where's my other? Right over there. This is the one I was at a minute ago. I've got the train. So I've got nobody here, which is odd. But I have the envoy. So, and this is B class. But it's odd that I don't even have the guy with the parts guy. Just what I'm saying, I don't get attacked by the Sentinels as much here. I think they're all supposed to have at least one NPC, and there's a bug. Personally. And maybe we'll try reloading and see. Because we did just change one. Yeah, I think they're bugged up. Right, let's have a look now. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there now. So that's inconsistent. So that definitely feels like a bug if we've got an inconsistency. It was literally there a minute ago. Unless it's run off because of the storm, which I think is highly unlikely. We certainly didn't have roaming guys before. So if I can't do the autophage on this save, do I have any charts I could just go and get an ordinary second one? Also, just to see if it works. Let's go to a space station and buy one. I should have the resources. Anybody else has voted? 10 votes on the poll. 70% much improved. 30% still need work. 0% the same. Settlements need more. Uninspired nobody said uninspired will be resigning. I thought some people might say that, to be honest. I'll keep the poll running for a little while. So this is, I have to remember this. Is that mine? Weird little base. I haven't played this. Oh, I remember roughly. I haven't played this save for so long. I thought I would just... I wasn't paying attention. I thought I was going to a space station. I'm getting this flicker bug almost everywhere I go. If I teleport to a planet and jump in my ship, I'm getting this flickering. Now, I don't know if that's specific to my hardware. I've cleared my cache. If I fly out into space and then fly back in, it doesn't flicker at all. It's all the assets on the planet. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It seems to be consistent to certain things. So, for instance, I found it's pretty consistent if I... It's going to try and get me to do the... purple stuff, which I'm going to try and ignore. But I did this the other day on my other save that I'd already done it on, but had to revert my save. And you can rush it, you can kind of speed run it quite quickly, but I'm going to do that on the street. Oh, we're going to an outlaw station as well. This is not the right place to be. Let's call in the anomaly and go somewhere proper. I only wanted to go to a space station. And I obviously chose a base that didn't have an icon instead. Too much of a hurry, not looking where I'm going. That pirate-themed yellow save that I sometimes mention when I see a yellow ship. Space stations. Doesn't really matter where we go. No, that does matter with that one because that's a pirate station. Got a decent place where I can get a settlement. Go to my farm, perhaps. See, now I've just walked into a system and into a base. So it's planetary. If I jump in my ship now, we'll see if I get the flicker bug. textures of Zed fighting badly. These upside down parts. No, I don't. I don't get it here. Where's the consistency there? I don't think there's, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there's any real differences between the different races in terms of what you can do in a settlement. Whoever is balmy here. I got the right. Yes, I've got convergence cubes. So has it given me? No, it hasn't, has it? It hasn't given me the option to build the Overseer's office. Still got the icon directly below it. So there's clearly a problem here. Hasn't been fixed yet, even in the experimental run. Otherwise, it's quite a nice layout. Well, I could try retiring and reclaiming. If you say you had to do it a few times before it let you, let's see what happens. I'm going to need loads of convergence cubes, which I probably don't have. I'll be checking my freighter, which means I'm going to have to mark this spot. Place a computer somewhere. That'll be quicker than just putting a beacon down. One hand, I'm thinking, I need to remember this is a permadev save. And on the other hand, I'm thinking, this is a ridiculously overpowered permadev save. I probably don't have to worry that much. we could do that as a poll in a bit. Yeah, I tend to stockpile the race items as well, but I can't remember if I did it back when I was mostly playing this save, so I'm gonna have to find out. Go to my other base and later because I don't remember where it's parked and why. I've never had a problem with the Exosuit voice, and I've just left it. I put the male one on yesterday 2 days ago as an experiment, but I switched it back again. Just because I didn't really want it to remind me. Greater. No, convergence cubes aren't divergence cubes. There's a mission where we need divergent cubes. Yep, I got a few. Not a great number though. I've only got enough for 2 attempts. Might have to go to a trading post. You can find that's the divergence cube. No, no, you're wrong. I'm wrong, rather. I'm saying you're, pointing at you and meaning me. I'm wrong. The divergence cube is needed in the Artemis Pile. Convergence cubes are needed for settlements. The secondary item are needed for settlements. So the daggers, the divergence cubes, and the Gekmip. And some of us just hoard things. Where is it? Right above it. So we've got 2 tries before we have to go to a... Nope. Let's go to the log. Go to the new thing. See, it's got a stranger will arrive, but it's not going to do a countdown. And we have no... building opportunity anywhere. Try again. Looking promising, is it? Actually, my other base is at a trade outpost, but I'll go back to my other base because it's just worth looking at a second. I can see it. It doesn't matter which trading post we go to. Now, I've tried save reloads in these circumstances. I've tried going to my other thing and back again. I've tried all sorts. I've not seen it work with retiring, but we're going to try it because at least Grabnort has. I don't know if anybody else has. I want to go to the trainers.
Coordinates received. Coordinates received. Coordinates received.
How many do you reckon I'm going to need?
Coordinates received.
Yeah, so one of the reasons that this base is interesting, is worth looking at, is because it's where I keep all of my refiners. And in a similar way to the way I fix refiners on a freighter so that I can leave them and come back. This terrain and at the back of a trading post doesn't have any assets. It doesn't have any kind of things like dihydrogen crystals or things that would potentially come up from the ground every now and again, respawn and push things around. So I find this is very stable ground and the ideal place to leave your refiners running. And then in a similar way to the way I use my in a similar way to how I use the freighter, what I do is I put stuff in my refiners. Right, let's start from the beginning. First thing I do is I run up to this save point. I save, reload. I use my refiners, and then when I want to leave this refinery and fly away, I make a save point before I leave. And then when I come back, I don't look at my refiners straight away. I make a save point, reload here, and then usually if I go to my refiners, they're still refining happily. And that's primarily because my original this original base computer was positioned down here on this platform, which means it's always going to be the same level and stable with this building, and theoretically should mean that things don't get moved around, and it's refiners getting moved around slightly that causes the problem. And it can get moved around, but as long as you're reloading in that spot, it should be fine. Here I got 18. At least that's a multiple of 3. Let's give them a try. also do saves and relays between, just to see if that makes a difference for the reclaiming thing. See, I think the bug is related to the save slots that are available. So that we've got 4 slots available. And if for some reason it thinks that you've already got more than one settlement, which it does seem to do occasionally. When you look in here, sometimes it shows you, like, this is the current one. I haven't resigned from it yet. Let's reload. It just feels like one of those bugs that they might not get to the bottom of very quickly, because this is the second experimental patch so far, and they still haven't fixed this. Right, should we reload before we... see what happens then. I should also double check that they haven't dropped another patch, or maybe log out and log back in a minute. See if... because they sometimes drop serial patches when they're working on something like this. Nothing. My next, and I'm gonna resign and do it again one more time. But I'm gonna try something else. Stranger will arrive, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try and claim another one without retiring from this one, because it might put it into the next slot that's available to us. That might help. Because I did have an unworking... First of all, it thought I had to already, and I didn't. And then I tried to claim an autophase one, even though I shouldn't even have... No, I do have the ability to get autophase on this one. But I haven't tried opening a third. Pointing in that direction. It's on the other planet. It's right in the middle where I couldn't quite spot it. I don't want to know. I don't want your diversion signal. See happens when I try and play this. Do a clean slate. We'll do a reload first. I was popping a bunch of settlement maps. That may have been part of the solution. Maybe. I know I tried to do various things like that with the autophase one that was playing up on my other save, and it didn't do anything. But then after the patch, that one was working fine. It's immediately said Stranger will be turning up soon. The icon is still there underneath. Unless it's... I can't dig any... This is like positioned it below the... This doesn't even have a ability to dig. Multi-tools have I got that don't have terrain manipulator? It's very odd. What was I thinking when I was playing this save? Maybe I'll try popping one from here. See if it gives me the same one. Or a different one. I think it's giving me the same one. Yep. Still the same. Well, you have enough convergence keys, but I don't have any more charts to try the fourth one. So I have to go and buy another chart. That's all I can think of doing now. So let's just very quickly do a reload, just in case. I don't think it will make any difference. But... See, when I first saw this happening, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe if I wait for that stranger to appear, it says you'll arrive in 32 minutes, 55 seconds. Maybe if I wait for him to appear, then he will kick it off. But it never progresses. It just sits there with the same timer. And it's happened the same on this one as well. Also saying stranger will arrive 17:19. So it's like that's the first thing that happens when this bugs out. It seems to initiate the wrong thing. This is the pirate system. also got a save from before I made a complete backup from before Beacon dropped. I've been experimenting with that, and there's still problems. So it's clearly not something that has been totally fixed yet. Let's buy another chart.
Coordinates received.
One more. This doesn't work. I'm out of ideas, Already overseer of a settlement on... Okay, so you can't have more than one per planet. Okay. Luckily I got 2 charts. I worry that if I retire from one of the existing ones, it'll just open up that slot again, and I want to try and provoke the 4th slot. Let's go to a different planet system, but with the same race. Like they could fix this bug really easily by just putting the overseer's office there all the time anyway, but just don't put the teleporter in until you've claimed it. Yes, that one's worked. That's the 4th slot. I reckon for some reason the other 2 slots were being held open. So we'll get this one fixed, and then we'll teleport back to the other ones and abandon them. What a lovely planet I've got now to have my settlement on. It's very similar to my other one. That was in a dusty hellhole. Oh well, at least it's let the time progress, so I should have other things to check on my other saves. Yep, I've got some stuff on the Omega Plus save I can go to. Quite a nice little cave entrance here. Let's have a look at that. Oh, 2 of my new settlements are on Paradise Planets, including the autophage, and the 3rd settlement's on a storm-free lush. I'm pickier than you. Well, no, actually, it's not that. Usually I would be quite picky. I mean, partly it's the experiment, but partly it's the theme of this permadeath save. I chose hellholes. I chose the first one because it was a hellhole that not only was a horrible weather, but had extremely aggressive sentinels that would immediately jump on you as soon as you... And it just felt like the appropriate thing to do on a permadeath save. So this kind of fits that. So it feels perfectly in keeping with this save. We're going to see what the poll says. So after 14 votes, I'll probably end it here. After 14 votes, 64% say it's much improved, 36 say it still needs work, but nobody says pretty much the same, and nobody says it's totally uninspired and they'll be resigning from all of them. I did think more people would say that they would just take this opportunity to just not use them, because now we can resign from them. You don't have to have a settlement at all, and once you've done it's not taste of metal, is it? It's trace of metal. Once you've done trace of metal, you don't really need it anymore. Those people that have said, why can't I get rid of my settlements? I don't like settlements. But now be happy. They don't have to have them. Policy decision immediately. researchers are divided, each have their own agenda. Should we support those who favour improving our habitation systems or direct funding to overhauling our maintenance systems? Well, obviously, because you're a failing settlement that's about to die, I'm going to go for maintenance, regardless of what you do. Sleeping pod, large depot, sleeping pod, sleep unit, standard dwelling, fishing pond. That's interesting. Problem straight away. Overseer's office, obviously. Quite a lot of sleeping pods and not a lot else. Agri module, that'll do. We'll do that. So, are you using the new male voice? Question mark. Yes, no. Let's change no to I'm still using female voice. I turned off the voice. Start poll. So let me know, are you still using the male voice or not? Or female voice or not? Or are you switching? Upgrade to B class with 120 nitrogen. Don't have nitrogen on me. I do have nitrogen though. Remember the name of this. Because I've got those other ones at the moment that are. Let's just rename it so we don't get confused. Working, that'll do for now. The other two ain't.
Incoming storm.
Maybe I will have to put the male voice on for a bit just to hear all the different things he says, because I haven't heard that one in the male voice yet. While I'm here, I'm going to have a look around my permadeath freighter just to remind myself what I was up to in this save. So first of all, it comes in from the bridge. I just had all the basic stuff to hand, like it shows you how long ago I actually played this save seriously, because the last one was the autophage expedition, which I used to mark whichever one was currently doing on here. Obviously that was my fleet room. Oh, this is my refinery, I remember this now. And then I had a lot. I was doing a lot of cooking back then. I was trying to learn all the different recipes. I'm so far behind with that now. Plus, obviously, I had a farm going on here. And up here. And obviously, I had a farm, an actual farm that we visited a minute ago. And another bit of the farm here. So lots and lots of farming going on. Not much else. And obviously this was for running up and down, so I could go the two different levels without running up and down stairs. I made a nice little light pad underneath my thing. Apart from that, very basic freighter design. I was going to get nitrogen. So, nitrogen, where have I got it? There's some. Not very much though. Have I got any more? Yes, I've got loads. So it's working. Will I turn up inside the monument like I was on the other save the other day? Yep, right in the middle. It's such a stupid place that it pops you up, and then sometimes it damages you at that point. It hasn't there, but if you fall, if it makes you fall, it can damage you. Or at least giving you all shield damage. Where's the building I was working on? Because there's a new citizen proposal, it's not highlighting it for me. Let's just do that and then it'll mark it for me. No, it's not. Did I not even get started? Maybe I didn't get started. Which one was I going to do? I was going to do the agri thing, wasn't I?
Weather update.
Standard dwelling.
Storm clearing.
Sleep unit. Sleeping pod. Large depot. Sleeping pod. That was the one I was going to do. Yeah, I hadn't even got started. That's why it's not showing. Supply the nitrogen. Yeah, I keep wanting to make one of those large central area freighters where you walk in and it's just surrounded by other doors, sort of other rooms, so that you've got a large open space in the middle. I've never got around to doing it, and then putting some kind of roof over the top, possibly glitching glass over the top would be nice. Right, let's go and delete those other settlements. So that one. of course, I've got to fly to the other one. This was a much nicer planet. Shit. I mean, the one we were just on has got a similar element of that in that you walk into an open area that's kind of surrounded by buildings, but it's not like a large open area. It's the other settlement. Was it on the other planet, wasn't it? That's interesting, actually. People often say they can't find settlements on the planet they're on. It goes to a different planet. So maybe now we can have more than one settlement. One way of stopping that happening would be to claim a settlement temporarily on the planet that you're on. Or the planet you're not on, rather. And then pop another chart again and see if it sends you back to the original. No, maybe that wouldn't work because we just saw it offer another one on the second planet, didn't we? On the same planet, rather. Then it wouldn't let us claim it. But maybe that won't work. Might be worth trying, but... Might be interesting to see what happens if I try and claim this one again now. No difference. Just wasting convergence cubes. Yeah, I think my slot theory is right. I think the other two slots are... It's confused. It thinks they're already being used. Popping backwards and forth between two planets consistently. Maybe then. So I'll park this at... No, I'll park it at the settlement where we actually claimed. So that when we come back to this save, we're at the spot we want to be. I don't think exiting the game does, because I tried that last time. I mean, I was going to exit the game anyway at some point, but we've got what we wanted now, so we'll see if we have a problem on another save at another time. But I mean, I'm hoping they will fix it. It's also one of those problems that might only occur now that they've dropped a couple of patches. If people come into beacons with the new patch, it might not happen. You can see the ground here. I've landed in the building again. save. It's not going to let me land too close. I'm not sure why. Oh, that's why, because I haven't got launch thrusters. Just have to rest again.
Technology recharge.
No crash. Yes, that's better. Lovely planet. Right. Back to my Omega Plus save, which should have plenty of things to mark off. But I am actually going to quit the desktop for a second, just in case there's been an update. No, there hasn't. So it's still on the same experimental branch, I believe. While that's loading in. Okay, and we're back. Which one's in this save? Can we still both of them? So I was doing an agricultural unit here. It's got something it's asking me to do first. At this stage, I am going to tax things. So it sounds really dangerous making black holes in the middle of a settlement. This is going from 2, 15308, -2 and 30154. The C's are really quite high. Staying on 2. It's nearly doubled its productivity. Gone from -2 to +1 happiness. You know what? I'm going to carry on with that one. So this is an hour. Probably won't still be playing in an hour, but jot it down just in case I come back later on my own. Got another one on this. It's Fool's Paradise. Just to see if these are being marked correctly in them. They are at the moment. Yeah, so further to my theory about why the bug might not happen to other people. Because when we loaded into Beacon and it set up the new system, for me, it gave me added settlements that I didn't actually have, like with names from other saves, and also completely different settlements I'd never seen. Like one in Lakulu, for instance. I deleted those. I resigned from those particular settlements. And I'm wondering if whenever I've tried to claim a new settlement in that save slot, then it hasn't worked. Whereas if you came into Beacon after this experimental patch drops, it's possible that it won't do that, because it won't have that bug initially. So it may be that only some of us will see this bug, not being able to claim settlements and get started properly. There have been other bugs that work like that. See, I'm authorizing these missions because I'm interested to see if they come back with problems now. My hunch is they don't come back with as many problems. They don't necessarily get people dying. I haven't seen a single person die in any of the missions I've sent since Beacon. I must have something somewhere that I had. That's the expedition. That's the thing. Was I updating? Over there. Definitely feels like the draw distance for grass has got significantly shorter. It's just like a few feet ahead of me. don't know if anybody else is seeing that in their hardware. I'm not going to record this because if I pay attention, it does tell me what's happened in terms of productivity. So I won't skip out in a little. Hi, Enra, how you doing? Productivity increased by 13,000. You get a chance to play with the new update? Are you having that annoying problem with the weathered parts for building? I presume you are, because we all seem to be. You're still on the fence about that. I still am too. I'm just so used to the standard voice. It's actually making money now. I think it was before, to be honest. There's another one in this. Oh no, I want to set something else up. So set something going. What we got? Dwelling. Terrarium. It's a bee idea. And that's 1 hour 33. And 1 hour 33 is 4:10 to 5. Yeah, especially these textures for stone just seem to be very blurry or muddy. It's not what they should look like at all. And they look fine from a distance, so I think it's a level of detail problem. They're not changing as we get closer. Connection points, do you mean when they're snapping together? Yeah. Another thing I'll just say is a working autophage settlement. So after 7 votes, yes, it's new and cool for the male voice, 57%. I'm still using the female voice, 14%. And I turned off the voice, 29%. I would imagine that a lot more people would turn it. I'm going to end that poll because it was only a quick one. I'd imagine a lot more people would have turned it off. The point itself appears an inch offset from the actual connection. I'm not sure. I'll have a look in a second to try and work out what you're saying. had at least something running. Nothing appeared to. This is also a bit of a hellhole, isn't it? Domestic unit. Autonomous nutrition module. I'll go for that if it's... It's not already upgraded. No, it's on A at the moment. I don't want to go to S yet. Automated warehouse, I think I've already done. No, this is not showing me. Ah, now it's showing me. Current building project will be completed 4940. So that's still running.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Where can I go that's not got bad weather? I don't think that's got bad weather. So, to clarify, are we talking ordinary build parts, like walls and doors and floors, etc.? Storage contain... Ah, now they've been off for a while, actually. That's not new. Yeah, that's... people have been complaining about that on Reddit for at least a month or two. Well, I haven't built a storage container for literally years. I don't use them anymore. Little dip down there. I wonder if it happens with cuboids. Seem okay. Yeah, this issue has been around for a while. Don't even think you can use a corridor to sort it out. Okay, let's try. I'll copy what we're doing. It's not flicking between two different positions there. Or is it? still offset. Yeah, I think the wire thing is part of it. I think the whole thing is slightly offset. They messed up some of these things. But is that wire thing happening on other things? Yes, it is, isn't it? No, but this is because of the new wire. I don't. For instance. If we do that to that, it puts the wire point there and there. Now, it's offset, but it works, as you say. I kind of like it in a way, because I mean, I know it's probably a bug, but you can tell when you rotate exactly which connection you're on. Without having to look at the too closely. So I kind of like it. I wish it was not a bug. I wish it was offset that way, or offset more deliberately. But yeah, it's clearly a problem. I see what you mean now. I'd forgotten that. I noticed that yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday when we were experimenting with it. I'd forgotten all about that. That's way off there as well. So I've done this save. I'll just jump in here a second. I'm getting a flicker bug here, but I wasn't getting on that, getting it on that other lush. So it's so inconsistent. But all of the, in this case, it's all of the minerals are flickering out. Just delete those parts. Feeling that the permadeath save will have finished. For some reason I didn't write the time down on that one. I've got to deal with citizen dispute first. You know what? I know where the things are. I'm just going to go straight to them and ignore that for a bit. They're on the outside of this one. There it is. Oh, I thought I... Oh no, I didn't do the bazaar, did I? Because it was all what I did previously. I've still got time running, so yeah, I just didn't write that down. So I think I've got everything running at the moment. I don't think I've got anything I can actively update now. What was this? This was an hour and 2 minutes. Oh no, there's one thing I can look at on my original save. No, because I was just on the original. No. Yes, let's try. Finally, prefabs are great again. You think?
Inventory full.
used to these structures. I can't even see the door when I'm looking at them. Ah, public artworks. I'm wondering if this actually puts something in our settlement. Adds the feature public artworks. +5 citizen happiness. Scout Aquing to produce an epic poem. Now that's not going to be something that's built, is it? In honor of self-assembly, 91% of the settlement strongly favour its completion, whatever the cost. Well, I guess we have to go along with it, even though we're just wasting money here. You must be seen as a patron of the arts. With our current debt at over $1 million. Which part of this say? Yeah, here might be completed. But it isn't. See, look at that right at the bottom right-hand corner there. We've got an expedition has reached a conclusion. But it doesn't tell me which settlement because it's just got placeholder text. It says it there, but it knows which one. It's just not linking properly. Still yet to see an expedition fail with people dying, so let's see what happens this time. Nothing else on my list of timing out, so I might finish off. Claim expedition. Citizens have returned from the expedition. Scout Gek Iskar, the expedition leader, sought to create a series of maps and charts detailing the land. You're taunting me now. I want cartography. You're doing it. I can't. It's not right. To create maps and charts detailing the lands around the settlement. They wish to thank the overseer for their generous support. I'll donate the proceeds. Actually, no, I'll double check a second. I don't need the money. Sometimes it's just a waste if you do. It just goes into the black hole that is your dying economy. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't think the autophages will be any different, but we haven't got that far with the autophages yet on any of the save. But yeah, we'll have to have a look. We'll have to keep pressing these forward. I mean, maybe we can press these forward while streaming something different and occasionally pop back. Because after all, I mean, it's diminishing returns on what we're learning from here. We're learning that most things that we upgrade to A will get much better productivity. And we're learning that once you push it to S, you get good productivity, but you're more visible to the sentinels. That's all we've really spotted so far. I'm not sure how you get the brood things coming in, the insectoid creatures. I don't know whether you have to have a settlement on a planet with those on it. I don't know. I've not seen that at all yet. If anybody knows or has seen anybody that's reported it, interesting. going to go on as long as I stand here. Yeah, it looks like it, because as soon as I move away, it stops. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I usually kind of start to lose a bit of energy about this point, so I'm gonna get off. But thanks for watching. And flicker bug again. Thanks for watching. Travel well, and goodbye for now.